A few days ago, I stumbled across a video called GPT-4 plus Midjourney V5 equals a new era of photography by the channel All About AI. Now, I highly recommend going and checking out his full video. I'll link it down in the description because he goes into the very nitty-gritty details of it. But to just kind of explain how it relates to this video is I wanted to show you the very end of it where he actually uses it to prompt Midjourney V5 to create a concept car in the style of Iron Man. And this got me thinking, holy crap, what can it do for motorcycles? I do want to just kind of explain what's going on so you're not completely lost. Essentially, you have ChatGPT, which is an AI chatbot, which is just a large language model that takes language from all across the internet and kind of analyzes that to basically be a bot that you can talk back and forth to and have it retrieve information in a non-search engine format. I know that sounds like a lot, but trust me, when I break it down, it'll be a little bit easier. And Midjourney V5 is a text to image AI generator. So you can type in, give me a photo of a cat, and it will generate a photo of a cat. It's not going to go and get a picture of a cat like Google would. It actually generates it from all the pictures on the internet that it knows has cats in it. How these two combine is basically you use ChatGPT to generate prompts that then feed into Midjourney V5 to create very detailed photorealistic pictures. Now, as you can see here on All About AI's video, he was able to get some absolutely stunning pictures. You can see right here, this woman's hand has 5 fingers, but not in the correct configuration. So it's not completely perfect, but to think that these aren't actual photographs is a little bit mind-blowing. Also, stay till the end because I picked my favorite motorcycle and then used Midjourney V5 to generate some more art elements and combine them to make a pretty badass t-shirt, so stick around for that. Alright, so for our first one, I didn't actually use the ChatGPT prompt function. I literally just typed into Midjourney V5, generate photos of a motorcycle, and this is what it gave us. So for the first one here, it basically just generated a guy on a motorcycle. You can see down here, some of the headers look a little strange, but overall, I mean, art-wise, definitely wouldn't catch anyone's eye that wasn't really looking for it. Over on this next one, you can see there's something a little weird with his head. Maybe he's looking this way. Looks like the headers just kind of flow in out of nowhere. Kind of the same story on this guy here at the front. Suspension's backwards on the back, but we'll let that one slide. A little funky here on the helmet, but once again, if you weren't really looking for defects, you wouldn't notice it. And then this one, I mean, this one looks like something you could buy today, honestly. I mean, the headers are a little strange, but everything else is kind of in the right place. So this is what we got when we asked just for motorcycles. Now, for the next one, I got a little bit more detailed and utilized that ChatGPT function. And to kind of give you an idea of what ChatGPT is actually doing, here's what I actually put in and what it spit out. So I put in, create a prompt to generate photos of futuristic motorcycles in a steampunk design. And then this whole 3-paragraph thing down here is what it generated. Now, I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'll just read the first paragraph here. That changed that to, behold the magnificent motorcycles of the future, crafted in the retro futuristic style of steampunk. These masterpieces of engineering are a blend of old world charm and modern technology, featuring sleek lines, polished brass and copper accents, and advanced propulsion systems that make them faster and more efficient than ever before. So that's pretty crazy that it's generating that just from my one-line prompt. Now, if you look down below, it also goes into details of what it wants the picture to be shot with. It says capture with a Sony a7R III camera using a 2470. So all of this is generating from metadata that's actually captured within photographs that Midjourney can now analyze. For example, when I go out and shoot something with my Canon 7D, inside that picture is a little bit of information that says, hey, this picture was shot with a Canon 7D. It was using this lens and these settings. Because of that, the internet has all that data stored somewhere. So ChatGPT, along with Midjourney V5, are able to take that data, crunch into diffusion models, and basically produce a picture with the same properties and characteristics that are in those pictures that carry that data. I know it's a lot, but trust me, it makes sense. So with that, copy and paste it over to Midjourney, and these are the results. So yeah, this, as you can tell, it's quite a step up when you use the ChatGPT function versus just typing it directly into Midjourney. We'll start off with the top left one here. As you can see, very heavy brass and copper like the prompt said. What I really love about these pictures is you'll see the design incorporated not only all over the bike, but it also likes to do the wheel stand as well. Overall, this bike, I mean, relatively functional. There's not really a gap in the forks to allow this to steer, but we do have have handlebars, we do have a seat. It definitely reads as motorcycle. Over on this next one, you'll recognize this one from the thumbnail, definitely more on the gold and brass on the exterior, more copper on the engine. The engine just looks super futuristic, don't even really know what's going on there. But as you can see, it did generate it on a background. So you can see some windows back here, some cobblestone. The detail on this one is fantastic. Coming down below, we kind of have one of our first big mess ups. Notice this bike does not have handlebars. Handlebars is something that it doesn't really get right a lot, and kickstands is something that doesn't really get right a lot. The motor, just absolutely gorgeous. The detailing, absolutely gorgeous. And then last but not least, I think this one's probably the most steampunky in my opinion, primarily due to the headlight. I believe it kind of gives that goggle feel. I also really like how it has a little bit of blue coming through a clear tube here, kind of leading to the illusion of maybe it's powered by something that's not internal combustion that we're used to. And then of course the illumination coming off of the bike and reflecting down here, just absolutely gorgeous. But I will say it's got like a single mono handlebar that kind of sits in the middle. I think that'd be a little strange, but overall still an awesome composition. I think that it absolutely nailed this one. So after the steampunk one, I wanted to see what it would just generate with a more broad concept. So I literally just told it to prompt a futuristic concept motorcycle. And you can tell when you don't give it as much detail in the prompt, it doesn't give you as much detail in the image. So starting up at the top left here, you can see just a very basic concept design. I will say that these do look functional though, especially if this was powered by an electric motor. Same thing here over on number 2. We do have our handlebars, we have a seat, we have suspension that's going in the right direction. This one is interesting because it actually generated a rider kind of here in the background, but still very similar design to the other two. And then this one kind of on that same level here. We do have handlebars, we do have suspension. We have a nice little cutout here in the rear fender, which I think is a cool little addition, but just not a lot of detail. After the futuristic concept, I wanted to be able to feed it something that I knew it could reference off of and something that was maybe more unique and recognizable, and I want to go a little bit silly with it. So I asked it to prompt a motorcycle design with influences from Disney Pixar's WALL-E, one of my favorite movies. And boy, aren't those just absolutely adorable. Starting up here at the top left, just absolutely bubbly, colorful WALL-E style motorcycles. I mean, I really can't put it more clear than that. Definitely getting more into the realm of fantasy on these. On these bottom ones, it really just took the liberty to make it into a two-wheel or a three-wheel trike with 2 in the front. This one down here on the bottom left is probably my favorite. It is also a 3-wheel trike with 2 in the front. But I just really like the headlight and the fairing design. It actually looks like something that you could ride. Definitely reads motorcycle, definitely reads WALL-E. So we've seen that it's good at taking something that has references off of. So I thought about what is something that has a ton of data on the internet regarding a certain topic. And I came up with the United States of America. We've been around for almost 250 years. Most of that history has been put into the internet in some form or fashion. So I said, prompt a concept motorcycle that embodies the history of the United States of America. And if you don't hear America F yeah playing in the background, then I don't know what'll do it. So starting up here at the top left, lots of red, white, and blue, lots of gold. And what I noticed on these, you have V-twin, a very Harley influenced V-twin or Indian V-twin. You got the big cylinders here with the push rods on the outside, air cleaner. Coming over this next one, same engine design, definitely V-twin. This one definitely reads more as Captain America versus the history of the United States, but I mean, I don't hate it. I feel like outside of this little flag it kind of generated here is something that you would see at a bike show, honestly. I mean, it's got a functional looking kickstand, a lot of gold accents around here. Just, I think it looks really cool. Coming down to the bottom, once again, we have another V-twin. We have a gold chassis, big black dished wheels. Handlebars are a little wonky. It looks like they both go off to the right side. And then, of course, the stars and stripes kind of just splotched here and there. Not the cleanest design, but as we move over here, you can see another V-twin, lots of gold. I wonder what it picked up on to create the gold. The only thing I can think of is our currency was based on gold for the longest time. I'll be honest, I was hoping for something a little bit more dystopian, maybe incorporate something along the wars that we seem to love to rage, and it really just kind of embodied the hey, we're America, we're #1, gold. Maybe that's why. Gold medals, Olympics. We don't have the most gold medals, do we? Oh, we do have the most gold medals of all time. All right, America. Yeah. So for this next one, I apologize to my boomer audience. I do love you guys, but I wanted to see what AI thought of you guys. I said prompt a concept motorcycle designed for riders over the age of 60. I was really hoping for something a little bit more satire. I was thinking like something designed around a pill bottle or a wheelchair. But before I show you, I wanted to give you a couple of lines from the prompt. It says, introducing the Silver Cruiser, a sleek and stylish concept motorcycle designed specifically for riders over the age of 60. The Silver Cruiser is equipped with features that make riding comfortable and safe for older riders without sacrificing the thrill of the open road. The motorcycle seat is designed with extra padding and lumbar support. How crazy is that? And it automatically went to something that's comfortable with extra padding and lumbar support. Just absolutely crazy. So onto the pictures. This is what it generated. As you can see, it really just embodies a lot of models that already exist. Starting up here at the top here, this one, I mean, Kawasaki, BMW, a very basic bare bones motorcycle. Suspension here is a little wonky, but outside of that, I really don't see anything that's super out of place here. It looks like just a motorcycle. This one, same concept. This one reads victory to me. The engine looks right. It also generated some text up here. Now, as you can see, it's not really in a language at all. These diffusion models really aren't great at generating text. This bottom one here, I mean, once again, looks like it could be anything off of the showroom floor in the late 80s, early 90s, even into the early aughts. And then once again, same thing on the last one. This one definitely reads like Kawasaki Vulcan to me, maybe, with the V-shaped air cleaner. Nothing really spectacular on this one. Definitely just embodied that boring silver cruiser. All right, so I've had enough with the silliness. Let's get back to something a little bit more interesting and cool. I wanted to give it, once again, more prompts from something that it can pull references off of. And I wanted to think of companies that have very futuristic designs already in today's world. So the three that I thought of were SpaceX, Lamborghini, and Tesla. Just kind of get something spacey, something kind of supercar-y, and then something that's more mid-range, consumer grade, but still looks futuristic. So let's start off with SpaceX. Definitely did not disappoint. A little strange. It kind of went a little too futuristic, I think, on some of these. Once again, no handlebars. I definitely don't want to sit on this right here. Definitely don't want to do that. But the suspension looks right. The wheels look like they would be functional. Moving over to the next one, this one looks a little bit more rideable and realistic. A lot of looks like carbon fiber around here down the seat. Actually has handlebars, and then it always gets some type of derby cover or clutch cover, I've noticed, on pretty much every bike. This one was also probably in my top 3. It just looks so good. Once again, definitely didn't forget that clutch cover, whatever it's trying to embody. Love the solid rear wheel, the nice clean gap here under the rear fender. This bike looks like something that they should make like tomorrow. And then last but not least is this one here on the bottom left. I love the illuminated side cover here. I think that's a great touch. I love how it kind of reflects off of the concrete here. A lot of carbon fiber-esque material going on here in the seat. Overall, definitely did not disappoint. Moving on to Lamborghini, it definitely took a lot of black and gold, or black and yellow, which makes sense. There's a lot of black and yellow Lambos. Starting here at the top left, very sharp angles up front, very indicative of a lot of the new modern Lamborghini designs. Once again, incorporating the design into the wheel stand. Also on this one over here to the right, super clean lines. I love the tail on this one. I think that is absolutely gorgeous, but also no handlebars. No handlebars on this one as well, unless they're wanting you to treat that as a handlebar. Down here, this one's more of a matte silver and gold, or orange even. Incorporate the design in the wheel stand. Seat's a little odd, especially with it coming to the point there, but overall great job. And then this one might be my favorite of the 4. I think it looks the most plausible as an actual motorcycle. It looks like there is actually an engine in there. The tail, I love how it's illuminated along the tail, and definitely reads Lamborghini, I think. And last but not least, Daddy Musk and the Tesla design. It generated them all in red and black, which I was expecting white. I don't know, in my head, when I think of Tesla, I think white, but their logo is red. When they sent the car into space, that one was red. A lot of the roadsters that they've debuted have been red, but red's my favorite color. So I really like these. This one is great looking. I love the rounded square headlight, the illuminated side here that's completely blocked off, so it could definitely be an electric motor. Same coming over on this side. I'm not a huge fan of the front on this one. Not a huge fan of what's going on here, but love the color. I love the tail end here. This one is doing something a little bit funky on the windscreen, but if you're not looking for it, you're not going to see it. But this one is probably my favorite. It looks the cleanest in my opinion. I love the brake light back here. If you took this one and kind of mashed them together, I think that would probably be one of the best looking bikes ever made. Once again, very solid body. I did notice something funny on this one though. It generated 2 handlebars coming off the same side. So there's something with handlebars that it doesn't quite understand. I mean, this is 3.5. This might be something that is cleared up on GPT-4, but for now, still very impressive. All right, so time for my favorites. Now I'm going to show you 2 sets of 4 here. One was kind of the first run, and then I also did a second run with a little bit more prompting to see if I could get a little bit more my vision. I wanted something apocalyptic and deserty, kind of futuristic Mad Max, like Mad Max, but with a little bit more tech put into it. So here's the first one it generated, and I mean, nothing to really scoff at. It's just the detail is a little bit lacking. It kind of got the idea, so I went ahead and put in a little bit more prompting. I think I said something about with a desert background or something like that, and that's what generated this. So this was by far my favorite generation of everything. Not so much this one. I think this one looks a little bit too cartoony, but up here you actually got a rider generated on this one. Definitely has that steampunk, futuristic, Mad Max, apocalyptic vibe to it. What I don't like about this one is there's something going on that makes it look like it's this big. There's something with the depth of field or something that's giving you the illusion of it being really small. This one over here, it's a little bit more on the organic side. I went a little too far. It's more on the bottom left. It looks a little cartoony. It kind of has that same effect of it making it look like it's really small. It doesn't really vibe. It doesn't feel like a complete picture. This one on the right, however, this is the one I picked for the t-shirt. So I'm not going to go into too much detail on this one because I did upscale this one. So here we are with the upscaled version. It's much cleaner as far as like the pixelation goes. And one thing I noticed, I didn't notice it until I was actually creating the shirt that I'm about to show you guys, but this isn't a human. This is some sort of cyborg at least, because you can see this is metal with wires and cables and stuff going through and a nasty black hand. But the bike overall literally looks like something that has just been built and pieced together in an apocalyptic future, which was my favorite. Has some feathers coming off the back, so it ties into the bird theme on this channel. So essentially what I did was I took this one, I said, I'm going to use this one. Now I need some sort of background. And I said, let's use Midjourney to create it. So once again, I typed in, give me an apocalyptic desert background. Generated everything kind of in the same style and format, lots of red and orange hues. I really like this one the best, but it's, as you can see, it's kind of on a hill right here, so it wasn't really going to work for the design I had in mind. So I ended up going with this one, but I did upscale it, and this is what it gave us. A lot more detailed, a lot cleaner, really just a scary, dark, and gloomy apocalyptic scene, which is exactly what I wanted. So I took this image, I took the background, and here's the design of the shirt. So I call that one Ride Until Death. I just really wanted to drive home the futuristic apocalyptic feel, but we still have motorcycles. So just keep riding until you die. Like I mentioned earlier, that shirt is available for purchase. I'll go ahead and include that link down in the description as well. I think I'm going to make another one of these videos just because it was a lot of fun to make, and the sky's the limit with what you can do. So I want to ask you guys, if you could create a concept motorcycle just by giving it a theme, what type of motorcycle would you make? Go ahead and leave them down in the comments. If I pick your comment to create, I will give you a shout out in that next video. If you like this video, go and hit that like button. If you haven't already, go ahead and punch that subscribe button. And as always, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time.